Welcome back, everyone. As most of you know, Apple had their Apple event yesterday, which was their September event. They released a ton of products, including the iPad mini 6. So let's go and see how the mini 6 holds up against the iPad Air 4 and see which one you should pick up, because there are a lot of similarities between these two. Now, first of all, if you're trying to get the cheaper iPad, the mini 6 is probably the better way to go. It's cheaper, but it does have a couple of more features that the iPad Air actually doesn't have, which is pretty interesting. Now, the body is pretty similar. It's pretty much just a smaller iPad Air 4. So you have an 8.3 inch panel on the iPad mini 6, where the iPad Air 4 had almost an 11 inch panel, so definitely bigger. You do have almost the same color selection between the two, which is always good, and you have Touch ID on the top inside of that power button, but you also have that USB-C port on the bottom as well, which is kind of interesting too, and I love seeing that type of capability for sure. Now, one of the cool interesting features of the iPad mini 6 is that it actually has a better front-facing camera, 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera on the front versus the iPad Air's standard camera that it had on the front. And with the mini 6, you actually do have center stage capability, which is a really cool feature. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, the iPad Air 4 doesn't have that ultra-wide camera, so the mini 6 kind of has an advantage here. And they both do have Apple Pencil 2 support too, which is pretty interesting. But the weirdest thing between these two is that the iPad mini 6 at a cheaper price tag has a more recent chipset, that Apple A15 Bionic chip, over that iPad Air 4 that had that Apple A14 Bionic chip. Now, here's the thing that threw me off. Last year, the iPad Air 4 was, I think, the first device with the A14 chip, and technically this keynote, the iPad mini 6 was the first device with the A15 chip, but they didn't mention it that it had the A15. They were saving that for the iPhones, I think. So in this specific case, I can definitely tell you the mini 6 could potentially be a faster device than the iPad Air 4. Now, we're going to have to get it in-house and test it and all that stuff, but these two iPads do lack ProMotion, so I really don't think it's going to be like a crazy big noticeable difference up front, but I do think that overall it's definitely a worthwhile upgrade. And to be honest, I think I would probably rather still have an iPad Air 4 over the mini 6 just because of that battery life that the Air 4 had. It actually had pretty good battery life, but I do think the mini 6 has a lot of potential, and in a way it has more features than the Air 4, which is honestly pretty surprising. So that pretty much covers it up. We'll see in-house when we get it. I've already pre-ordered it, so we'll see what happens when we get it. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll be so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.